here at the range. I'm going to test my two 303s again. So this is going to be interesting. I've no idea how I'm going to go. I altered my hand loads, and I've got some Remington factory ammo as well. That Remington one, I grabbed it because it's got a round nose, so there's a lot more bearing surface. Bullet's got a lot more bearing surface, a lot more contact with the barrel, which may help, but it is still 180 grain, so see how we go. Hello again. Yesterday I went to the range and had another go at shooting the Lee Enfield, which wasn't very successful. I've got to do some work on that, load development, or I don't know, maybe the barrel's shot, or not really sure, because I have had good groups with it, but yeah, so probably going to have to do load development. I did try another factory round, a Remington, a round nose soft point round, which I thought would be a little bit better through both of these guns because it's a big round nose, there's a more surface sparing, I thought, but yeah, I was probably wrong. Anyway, my obligatory beer that I'm drinking is White Rabbit Weissling Sour Ale, and it's sour, so yeah, most people would just go, "Ew, what are you doing?" Very refreshing. Sour ale is sort of a Belgian thing. I think they're trying to copy Geuze. If you don't know what Geuze is, just Google Lambic, Lambic, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, so some of the best groups. Now so I went out to 50. Let's see, I'll show you the 25 metre groups. I'm not showing any of the Lee Enfield groups because they were a waste of time. So that Remington round nose was promising. That's not a bad group. Right? It's sort of comparable to the other stuff, to my hand loads and that. And that was 25 metres with my hand load, and that is 5 shots, and that's like really interesting. Now, so I went for 50 metres with that Remington, and yeah, it went to shit. Then, so this is with, I think, what did I go to? 37 grains, I think, of AR-2208. Ignore a couple of them. That's quite a, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ignore 3 of them, because 3 of them were from a different group. So I was actually using a slightly different aiming point. So that's not a bad group. And that's how many's there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I shot 6 there. I'm not sure why, or that might be from another group, or I don't know. But anyway, it was pretty good. It was all right. But then I made these hand loads of 47 grains of H4350 AR-2209 using the same 150 grain Hornady interlocks, because the reason I'm using them is because they're 0.312 diameter, and I can't get any more. Well, not from my gun store, but I'll see if I can get it online from Cleavers, more of them, before they just disappear. So the 47 grain of AR-2209, which I made, the hand loads that I made up for the Lee Enfield. Sorry about the ambient noise, the weather's cleared up and people just doing maintenance work and everything on their houses everywhere. But anyway, so this was the hand load that I made up for the Lee Enfield, and I thought, I'll give it a go through this. I'll give it a go through the Martini Enfield, and guess what? This is at 50 metres. So this group here, if I hadn't had that one flyer, and that's 5 shots, there's 2 virtually on top of each other. If I hadn't had that one flyer, this group would have been like, whoops, metric, sorry. it would be half an inch at 50 metres without that flyer. I was just, what? You kidding me? Are you kidding me? And now, this thing is shooting really high, so I'm going to do a bit of a repair, a front sight repair or modification, which I'll do now. I was actually aiming there. That's where I was aiming, and it's shot there. So it's slightly left and very high. So how high is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.5 inches high. That's pretty high. So I did a second group, and I was aiming, there was another target next to it, and I was aiming in between them at the bottom there. And that's where the point of impact is. So this one sort of strung out a bit, but the barrel gets, because this is a hot load, the barrel gets really hot, and yeah, it does spread out. That one is what, 1.5 inches, just around 1.5 inches. But that one with a cold barrel, wow, with a shit sight. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep using that load. Yeah, that's a really good load. So I've found something it likes. Sorry, more beer, sour beer. Those lights are really bright, and I've got them further away now. So the front sight, it's shooting really high. Try to get this in picture. So, make sure the table doesn't tip over. So the solution to that is, number one, get your hands really clean. So use the brake cleaner. It's not toxic. Use paper towel. Don't use cloth towels or anything. Yeah, they're really clean now, because there's probably residue left over, soap or grease or something. So what I'll do is I'll give this front sight a good old squirt with the brake cleaner, and do the wipe down. Make sure there's, yeah, I can see the oil around it. It doesn't really matter if it's around it. So it's really rounded. It's been worn down. I mean, it's almost 130 year. Well, this barrel is from 1895, so that's 121 years old. Yeah. No. I don't know. If it was 1900, it'd be 126 years old, this barrel. So, and so's the front sight. The front sight is actually, it looks like it's brazed in. Okay. Some of the sights were actually forged with the barrel. That's what I thought it was, but no, I can actually see where they've brazed it in. So they've just cut a square. You can see where the cuts are. They've just got a square into the barrel, pop that in and brazed it. You can't move it at all, any which way, not for love of money. So, pardon me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it up with this stuff. It's called Permatex Steel Weld. Now, there was a gent. Sorry, I'm back in a sec. Right, I'm back. The guy who gave me this idea, I mean, I had thought of it before, but I wasn't quite sure what substance to use. And his channel is the Cobra 49, capital THE, capital KOBA 49, all one word. And he used Loctite epoxy putty. The problem with that stuff, it's essentially the same stuff. The problem with that stuff, because Permatex sort of copies Loctite. The problem with that Loctite epoxy putty is that it hardens white. It goes white. With this stuff, it's called Permatex Steel Weld, and it dries metallic grey. Yeah, and it's actually drinking water safe, so you can fix any kind of, yeah, what can you bond it to? Aluminium, steel, stainless steel, iron, copper, bronze, brass and other materials. So I'll just give this a bit of a rough up. I've got a, sorry about the noise again, I've got a sanding pad. The good thing about the sanding pads is that you can they contour to whatever you're doing. So I'll just give it a bit of a rough up. I can't really get it that rough, but the last thing I want to do is wear more off it. But yeah, it is what it is. So like that. Spray. The good thing about the brake cleaner is it does dry without leaving any kind of residue. Okay, done that. Now, get that out of the way. More beer, sour beer. So, I'll open this up and I'll show you what it looks like. Comes with this, yeah, alright. I suppose that's supposed to keep it from reacting, and it comes in wrapped up in a plastic cover. What you do is, first of all, I'll get a piece of it, I'll put it on the back of this. Hopefully this is nice and clean. I'll just make sure. I'll probably strip the writing off it. No, okay. Make sure that's nice and clean. So what you do is I'm trying to make sure everything's really clean and hasn't got any grease or any residue or anything on it. So I'm just giving everything a spray. You know, paper towel is cheap, so just keep using it. So I'll take all the crap off this. It has got some crap on it, that blade. Should have used a new blade. So that's a clean blade. Put it together. It's a clean blade. Now I'll cut some of this. You don't need much. I'll show you what it's like. So what you've got is, seal that back up. What you've got is this, it's like just a sausage, and it's got grey on the outside, black on the inside, and what it is it's two-part epoxy. So you gotta work it for about, what is it, how long? Mix need to uniform colour. Within 2 minutes of mixing, so you've got to get it all the one colour so you can see no streaks of black or grey in there. How's that? Yeah, that's pretty good. Right, so that's a pretty big chunk. So I'll break, you don't need a lot, I'll just break a little bit off. And what I'll do is plonk this on here, because then I'll just file it down to what I need it. Yeah, try and shape it. It's sticking very well there. So that's down. You want to make sure there's no air bubbles or anything in there. All right. So that's looking pretty good. I don't know how that's going to go. We'll have to wait and see how long. You've got to wait. So the work time of 5 minutes, fixture time of 1 hour, and we'll fully cure in 24 hours. So in 1 hour, that should be hard. Like that. I'm trying to shape it right way. In 1 hour, that should be hard, and it'll cure in 24 hours. So I'll have to get back to you. All right. I will have to get back to you. So this is part one. I'll show you. Get yourself a spray cleaner. Yeah. And I'll show you part two about shaping it, and then tomorrow I've got to go. There's a working bee. We're doing a bit of cleaning up at the archery club, which I want to get back into, and I don't know, I might take some footage there, I don't know, and for G11 Outdoors, that is, not for the gun channel. And what was I going to say? And then Monday, we'll go and you know, I'll take some files with me. Monday I'll go and sight this in because I've still got some of those hand loads left. The brass that I'm using is Cellier and Bellow brass, and it's rubbish. Yeah. I've got, man, brass is just so hard to get at the moment, especially for 303. So I managed to track down one source. It's a gun store. He's got an online store as well called the Open Range. I think it's in Toowoomba in Queensland. And he had 2 boxes of a Remington brass. Everybody's got Cellier and Bellow brass, but he had 1 box of Hornady brass and 2 boxes of Remington. I want to keep it all the same brand, so I bought the 2 boxes of Remington brass. They're on their way. Shouldn't take too long. And then I'll make some more of that hand load, the 47 grains of AR 2209 Hodgdon 4350 with 150 grain Hornady interlock, 0.312 diameter. That's what I want to keep using. I will experiment with, I've got some Spear 311 diameter, which are also 150 grain. I think the reason why that Remington factory ammo was so shit is that it's a 180 grain, and these rifles don't seem to cope too well with 180 grain, even though they were pretty heavy bullets that they were employing in the military ammo. I think they were over something like 215 grain or something, but you know, they were very slow, and yeah, anyway. So until next time, cheers, and I'll get back to you with a report on how this sight job goes. See you later.